Hey guys, this is Dr. Davidson here. Today we're going to be talking about abdominal breathing. And for better or for worse, this is actually the foundation of our core stability exercises that we like to give here in office. So the reason why we give it is because if you can't fully perceive your abdominal cavity, there's no way you're going to be able to contract it when you're getting up from a seated position, you're doing a deadlift, all the things in your day-to-day life which you require core stability for, which is everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in a position of total relaxation with our back on the ground, and to give even more slack to our low back, we're going to have our feet flat on the ground as well with our knees bent. So from here, what we're going to do is I'm just going to tighten the shirt a little bit to help with for demonstrational purposes, but what we want to do is we want to get complete expansion of the belly. When we take a deep breath in, that diaphragm should drop down, push our organs and everything up and out. And I know society can kind of shame us for that kind of thing, but you know, society's got a lot of things wrong nowadays anyways. But what we're going to do is, if we're having issues getting that expansion there, we can place one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly, and these can kind of give us a little bit of a barometer of how much movement do I have in one place versus the other. So if I'm having a lot of trouble with chest breathing, I can tell, okay, I have a lot of movement coming out of my hands. Let's take that hand and brace it down so I can actually exert a little pressure down to keep my chest from actually lifting up. But from here, when I take my deep breaths out, right, my belly should fall, that diaphragm's rising, the air is leaving my lungs. And then when I breathe in, I'm gonna imagine pushing that hand away, lifting that hand up. And so we'll do that a number of times, right? Really get the motion from a front to back perspective. Once we have that down, then we can work on the sides. And so with the sides, right, because our abdominal cavity, right, is a 360-degree belt, more or less, what we want to do is we can use our hands and press in, and from here, right, when I breathe in, I want to imagine pushing those sides out. So again, keeping my chest down, breathing only from the belly. We're going to breathe in, push those hands out, breathe out, let everything come in. You want to breathe out harder than you breathe in, because breathing in is actually a reflex. So if you really focus on the out breath, it's going to make the in breath much easier. So I push everything out, and then reflexively, I'll have a larger inhalation, out, in, out. The final bit is, because we have now the front, the sides, we want to get the back. So we can take our hands, place them on the small of our back, almost as if we were trying to tuck our shirt in. And from there, I'm going to breathe in and imagine my low back and all the air pushing down into those fingers. So I'm here. Really exerting that pressure down in my fingers. So all in all, we should have expansion in the front, in the sides, and also in the back. And so what that allows us to do is that allows us to build pressure for higher dynamic exercises like a deadlift, Olympic lifting, picking up our kids, all these kinds of things that are day-to-day activities. This will also limit the amount of motion in the low back. So people that have disc herniations, we give them this all the time, and it really helps them with that. So go ahead and start incorporating that into your day. At least do it 2 to 3 times a day. You know, you're laying in bed when you wake up and when you go to bed, so this is a perfect time to do that. Go ahead and do 10 breaths when you wake up, when you go to bed, just to start the motion. But then from there, you can start practicing doing it sitting in the car, right? I don't have to put my hand on my chest. I can put my hands on my belly and breathe in and out, breathing into the chair. Do it while you're standing. Ultimately, time under tension, doing all these breaths is what's really going to start to ingrain that motor pattern of breathing more into the diaphragm, into the belly, which is going to allow you better transference into core stability exercises. All right, let us know if there's anything else that you need in the comments below. Like, share, all those kinds of things. All right, we'll see you in the next one.